Ooh, I love my chair. My makeup chair is so relaxing. I'm just like, lean back, lean back, lean back. Oh god. Hot ass mess. What up, love bugs? It's your girl Pam. Thanks for stopping by here at Beauty Corner. So I'm finally able to bring you guys my review on the Jaclyn Hill palette, which was a collab with Morphe brushes. This is not her first collab with Morphe brushes. She's actually collabed with them a couple of years ago. What she did was she just handpicked a couple of shadows that Morphe was selling, and they sold it as her favorites. This collab this time around is actually what she likes to call her baby. Morphe brushes gave her complete control over her own palette, and she decided to create her own formulas and choose her own colors. This has been, I'm going to say, about a year and a half in the making. So this palette has to be one of the most highly anticipated palette. I think this one and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I will talk about that palette later on in the video. So when they launched the palette, they were selling it for $38. $38 is a lot for Morphe brushes, because Morphe brushes likes to keep the theme of being affordable, which I really don't think they are, especially when it comes to their brushes, but that's just me. But they like to stick to the theme of them being affordable. So when the Jaclyn Hill palette came out, it was $38. I know a lot of people had issues with the price. Me, I didn't have an issue with the price because I knew for a fact that she had created her own formulas. They were supposed to be, or they are supposed to be much better than what Morphe brushes is selling right now, which is crown brushes, eyeshadows. Let's be real here. Also, we're paying for the name. We're paying for Jaclyn Hill's name, and we're paying for this new ultra smooth, highly pigmented formulas that she's created. So you purchase this for $38. However, you could have got it cheaper if you use one of the many Morphe brushes codes. You could have used hers. You could have used Manny MUA, I guess that's how you say his name, I don't care. Patrick Starr, I think Nikki Tutorials has one. I think Kim, is her name Kim Tai? The real pretty girl. Can we talk about the shipping for a second? Now, I will have like little like time stamps where you can just skip if you don't want to hear all this rambling that I'm doing, but if you do, thanks so much. Anyway, so let me just get into the shipping a little bit. So when it comes to Morphe brushes and their launches, usually, or their highly anticipated launches, usually you have to wait 7 to 10 business days before they shipped it out. But when it came to the Jaclyn Hill palette, it wasn't like that. And I was so shocked because I really was waiting. I was really just anticipating this not to come to me, excuse me, for another 3 weeks. I ordered it on a Monday, and I kid you not, guys, I got it that Friday, and I was shocked. And I knew Morphe brushes was full of shit when it comes to their freaking shipping, because when it was a 35O palette, it was the Copper Spice and Bronze Mocha palette, and some other palettes they probably have launched, they said it would take 7 to 10 business days and then they would ship it to you. Whereas I think this palette is the most highly anticipated one out of all of them. This only took me a couple of days to get, and mind you, I think they're based in California, and you guys, some of you guys know I'm here in New York City. So kudos to Morphe brushes on shipping this fast, but I peeped your game when it comes to shipping, and you guys are literally full of shit when it comes to, you know, other products. I'm gonna need y'all to stick to the way you ship this with all of your products, okay? Okay. FYI, I'm still researching the best lighting that I can have. For now, I do have my umbrellas and my ring light. Please excuse when I do bring up products to the screen. It does get a little bit dark, so I do apologize for that. But again, I'm still researching the best lighting that I can possibly have in the space that I'm in. Okay? Alright. So here is the packaging of the palette. It is very white. Hopefully you guys can see me. Lord Jesus, I can see myself being dark in viewfinder. But anyway, this is the packaging, which is very clean. It's all white with silver lettering. I think these are her favorite colors, like white and the silver. Very clean, very classic. And then on the back is just 4 pictures of her and a description of, I believe, the palette. When you open up the packaging, of course you get your little, you know, little bubble wrap to make sure that the palette doesn't mess up. And in the box you get this nice little postcard with Jaclyn Hill on it and her eyes, and then in the back you get the eyeshadows and the names. And I said this in my last video and I'm gonna say it now. If people gotta spend money on a palette, what you can do is you can put the names of the eyeshadows in the palette. This little postcard nobody is going to keep. Like, what is the point of this? If you're gonna name your eyeshadows, if you don't have room within the palette, put it on the back of the palette. This is so unnecessary. This is ridiculous. So you're telling me, like, say there's a YouTuber like myself who wants to use this palette as a tutorial, they gotta always keep this postcard? That's crazy. That's absolutely ludicrous. Like, let's get it together, people. Let's get it together. I was gonna throw it, but I need it for the tutorial. By the way, guys, before I even show you this, this is not the first time me doing this video. This is the second time me doing this video. The first time, yeah, the tutorial was an epic fail. I'll show you a little shot here. So this is the second time that I'm opening it, just FYI. So this is the palette. So what was on the box is replicated on the palette, which is all white with the silver lettering. And then on the back is a bunch of JH's and Morphe and Jaclyn Hill's name. So when you open up the packaging, right here on this part is a message to her fans and the eyeshadows in this really little plastic thing, I guess, to protect the eyeshadows. So when I first initially opened it up, because I was super excited, I wanted to see what the shadows looked like, I was really shocked to find that these eyeshadows were your standard size. I don't know, from her video, her launch video, and looking at a couple of other people like Jaclyn Hill's video, I saw, I don't remember anybody else that I saw, but I did see other people's review on this. But from what I saw, I just always assumed that I assumed that the eyeshadows were bigger, like a little bit smaller than the Joeva ones. But when I opened this up, they were just regular standard eyeshadows, which to me is perfectly fine. But here is the palette, and as you guys can see, it is a very mixture. However, it is a lot of warm eyeshadows. And if you know anything about Jaclyn Hill, she is a huge fan of warm eyeshadows, like myself and many others. But besides the warm eyeshadow, she did throw in there a couple of beautiful standout bright colors that are in this section right here. Okay, I will give you a not a side by side, but I'll give you some brief information, like how many grams for how much money here on the side. I'm not really gonna go into that. So I'm going to finger swatch a couple of these eyeshadows. Again, this is not the first time I've done this video, so I do have somewhat of an idea of how these swatch, okay? But according to Jaclyn Hill, these are very, very pigmented shadows, okay? So we'll see. So I'm going to swatch some shadows that I actually move on over here. So I'm going to swatch some eyeshadows that I actually did not swatch from the first video, okay? I'm going to go in with this pretty, like, kind of rose gold color, okay? So I'm going to go into this one, and it's very smooth. When you it's stiff, but it's smooth at the same time, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to swatch that one. I am going to swatch this pretty tan one right here. I'm going to use this finger. Let's see. Let's go in with this color right here. That's underneath this brick one. Ooh, that one's pretty. And let's go into one of the lighter, well, let's go into one of the, let's go into this one right here. So I'm gonna swatch that one. So these are the swatches of those shadows. Okay, you guys can see a lot of these three are pigmented. This one, not so much. Maybe because it's really close to my complexion, so I really can't see it. But from these three compared to these three, it doesn't swatch very well. And that color is, let me bust out the card. So this color is called Butter. This color here is called Sissy. What? This beautiful color right here is called Jax. And then this one, so this is Jax. This one is Chip. This one is Sissy, and this one is Butter. But I just wish come up with these names, they're very odd. Anyway, let me just do a little bit of a hand swatch so you guys can see, I mean a wrist swatch. So this one is Butter, this one is Sissy, this one is Jax, and this one is Chip, like from Beauty and the Beast. So those are the swatches. They swatch beautifully on the arm. But again, that really doesn't matter. It's what's the brush to your eyes that matters. So I'm just going to swatch a couple of more. But stay tuned at the end of the video. I am going to swatch all of the shadows, finger and brush. So I'm now going to go into, because I'm going to go into the other ones that I swatched because you guys can see that. But I'm going to go in with, I'm going to say my favorite color in this whole entire palette. And it is Hunts, which is this color here. So I'm going to go into that one. This one's really smooth. I'm going to go into this beautiful purple one, which is called Royalty. How convenient. I'm going to go into this black. Now she said, I'm sorry, I didn't show you guys the palette, but she said this particular black, she really wanted to be very, 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 very dark. She kind of compared it to Makeup Geek's Corrupt. Okay, so I definitely want to see this. It's really, really black. Ooh, yeah, that's black. It's really black. It's so black that you can't even see the undertone of this color, because most of the time when you swatch a black, you can see kind of a grayer tone, undertone, or a brown undertone. But this one, you can't see that at all. And then let's swatch this pretty green right here, which is, oh, and this black is called Abyss. And then the green that I'm going to swatch is called Diva. So I'm going to swatch that one as well. Okay, so those are those four colors right there. You guys can see they're very, very pigmented from the finger swatches. Okay. And now I'm just going to swatch them on the arm. So that is Hunts. This one is Royalty, this one is Abyss, and this one is Diva. And those are the swatches. Really beautiful. Actually, Diva looks like it has kind of like maybe a duochrome from what I'm seeing on the camera, but that's just probably my imagination. But it's a really beautiful green color. Alright, so I pinned my hair back and I put my paint pot on my eyes. For a look, I really wanted to do a green look like I did the last time I tried to review the palette, but that was an epic fail, so we're gonna go a little bit more neutral. I'm just trying to figure out how neutral do I want to go. Do I want to go with a shimmer on the eyes? Do I want to go a little smoky? I really don't know. I really want to test out the mattes in this palette, because it seems to me that when people formulate their eyeshadows, I feel like shimmers and metallics and those type of finishes are much easier to produce than mattes. So I definitely want to apply a lot more mattes on the eyes. I would really like to do a black smoky eye, but I'm not gonna I'm not even gonna mess with that. I'm not gonna mess with that. However, I think I'm gonna play with that really pretty color, which is Hunt. I really like that color. I think I'm going to use that one as the main, or have that as the main focus on the eye. So we're just gonna do that. Okay. So I'm gonna first start off with Roxanne, I wanna be your man, which is this one, which is this color right here, next to Jax. And I'm gonna apply that into my crease. I feel like, I hope this is not as similar to that one, because then you're not really gonna see a difference. But what the fuck, what the hell. So I'm gonna go into that. The kickback in the shadow, perfect. It's not a lot, it's just what you would see with a very pressed eyeshadow. Beautiful. So I'm gonna apply this into the crease area. This color kind of reminds me of Brown Script by MAC. Okay, so this is Roxanne, and it blends out beautifully, gave me no problems, and as you guys can see, it is very pigmented. So 1 thumbs up for Jackie. So the next color I'm gonna go into, I think I'm gonna go in a little bit deeper, and because this looks very similar to Hunt, I'm not gonna use Hunt today. But I think I'm gonna go in with, what is this color? Chip. Every time I think of Chip, I think of Chip from Beauty and the Beast. I'm going to go in with that color just to deepen the crease. And I am going to use... I can't find my Morphe brushes for Swat. I don't know where the hell those brushes are. But I'm going to go with this one, and I don't know where this is from. Actually, scratch that. I'm going to use my MAC 217 brush, and I'm going to go in with Chip. I'm just going to go slightly lower than Roxanne. Now Roxanne's kickback is a little bit more, but it's not bad at all. It's not like subculture status. Like, you know what I mean? It's a decent amount of kickback. Alright, so this is Chip. Just like Roxanne. It blends out beautifully, and it is very pigmented. Now, because I'm not going to be using Hunt, I'm going to use a shimmer on the lid. However, I'm very confused. Or I'm like, should I do a cut crease? Should I not do a cut crease? I don't know. But you will see in the next clip if I do it or not. Alright guys, so I did a cut crease, and I'm going to use Hunt because it's just a beautiful color, and a lot of the shimmers don't go with what I put in the crease. So we're going to use Hunt. What the hell? So I'm going to take Hunt, and I'm going to apply this on the lid, and I'm going to pat it on. Yeah, that's not coming out too cute. So here is Hunt on the lid. I had no problems applying it to my lids. I did go back and forth into the shadow, but that was just me. I like to do a little at a time because I don't want the look to be too messed up. Okay, but again, it is a very beautiful shade, highly pigmented, and very easy to apply. As far as blending it out, I didn't blend it out in this look. I actually patted onto the lid for the maximum pigmentation, or the maximum payoff, if that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so for the rest of my eyes, I just dragged all the colors that I used on top to the bottom and smoked it out. For my inner corner and my brown bone color, I used that pretty rose gold color, which is called Sissy, which I swatched for you guys. So here is the look. I hope it's okay. I don't know. Again, you guys don't come here for the tutorial, makeup tutorials. You come here for the reviews. Okay, so first things first. Do I believe this palette is worth the $38? Yes and no. Me, personally, I don't mind paying $38 for this palette. It is highly pigmented from the shadows that I use. They blend out beautifully. They're smooth. They're a-okay in my book. Now that brings us to the next question. Was Jaclyn Hill lying about the pigmentation of these shadows? She absolutely was not. These eyeshadows, again, are very pigmented. Now, mind you guys, I did not swatch all of them, but if she wanted to keep the consistency the way she should have, then I'm going to say 95%, 98% of these shadows are definitely pigmented from the shadow to a brush to your eyes. Would I recommend this palette to you guys? Absolutely. If you guys don't mind the $38, then definitely go out and get this product. I am not sure if they restocked or not. I did see an announcement on their Instagram, but I didn't really look at the post because I have my palette already. If you haven't purchased it and I kind of eased your mind into getting it, definitely get it. It's very versatile. You can do a lot of looks. You can do some neutral looks. You can do some very nice, sexy looks with this palette. You can do some very colorful looks. You can even just take this palette by itself on vacation if you choose to. So again, go out there and get this palette. It's absolutely beautiful. Congratulations, Jaclyn, on this palette, on the success of it. It is a really, 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 really nice palette. My favorite color is on my lid right now. It's just gorgeous. If you guys like this video, you know what a girl loves, and adores. Show a girl some love, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Before I go, I can't believe I said that. Ah, I dropped my palette. It's safe, y'all. It's safe. But anyway, before I go, I said my saying and everything like that, but I totally forgot that I was going to talk about this. So I told you guys in my Sephora Pro palette video that I was going to purchase the Anastasia Subculture palette. I did not purchase that palette because of all of what's going on with that palette, from all the videos saying what the fuck, Anastasia, what the hell's wrong with this palette. So I'm really on the fence of trying to see if I really want to purchase it and give you my honest opinion on it, because I feel like a lot of people are like, what the fuck, but they really didn't, like, they followed the bandwagon and then to really give your opinion. So please let me know if you still want me to purchase that palette, and I will give you my honest opinion like I do all my reviews. Just please let me know, because I'm really on the fence, should I purchase it or not. But that is it for this video. Stay tuned for the swatches, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.